The Indians host the Mets for the first time since 2002, fresh off winning 2 of 3 from another NL East team. Justin Masterson was brilliant in his last start, shutting out the Red Sox on just 2 hits. His job will be just as difficult tonight, taking on 2-time Cy Young Award winner Johan Santana next on Channel 3. From Progressive Field here in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, interleague play continues tonight as the Tribe rolls out the welcome mat for the New York Mets. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. New York comes in here, a team that's really, I think, been uplifted here in the month of June, Rick, because you look back in May, they were a sinking ship, and now all of a sudden they've won 8 of their last 9. They're right there in the thick of that NL East race.
And they're doing it all by pitching. As a matter of fact, when you look at June, they have been phenomenal. 9-2, a 246 earned run average, just 3 home runs, and that they started out the year very good, and then they hit a lull where they were terrible. But I'll tell you, right now they're pitching. As a matter of fact, at home they have 24 wins, and their ERA is 2 runs different than what it is on the road. So they've played very well at home, and they've 11-18 on the road.
Yeah, surprisingly, a very subpar team on the road, so we'll see if that plays in the favor of the Tribe here tonight. Let's look at the pitching matchup. Johan Santana for the Mets. We know all about him. We've seen him for years, although it's been a few years since we saw him last. But Justin Masterson for the Tribe coming off, without a doubt, his best start in the major leagues.
And 3 very good starts in a row. But Masterson, you're right, facing 2 hitters over the minimum. He had 18 ground ball outs in this game against Boston, a couple of double plays turned. And, I mean, his confidence is really flowing right now. His ball is moving. He's going to get a chance at the Mets. And you can see his last 3 starts, a 1.69 ERA. Facing Johan Santana. Again, the ERA is very good. But in his career against the Indians, 7-7. You go back to 2007 was the last time he faced the Indians. He had 5 losses against the Tribe. 0-5 that year. I don't know how they did it, but they did.
Yeah, because it wasn't like Santana imploded in any of those games, but the Indians literally outpitched Santana and got just enough offense to beat him. That's probably what it will take here tonight at Progressive Field. We're back with all the play-by-play action coming up next. Time series, having won 4 of 6. Jerry Manuel, the skipper of this New York ball club that comes in just a game and a half and back of front-running Atlanta in the National League's Eastern Division. Indians, meanwhile, dead last in the AL Central, 10.5 games off the pace, but just 1 game in back of 4th place Kansas City, 3 games in back of 3rd place Chicago. Justin Masterson on the hill, and let's take a look at Jerry Manuel's starting 9 for those New York Mets. At the top of the list, you'll see Jose Reyes, a switch-hitting shortstop. Then you got Angel Pagan, David Wright, Ike Davis, Jason Bay, Chris Carter, Rod Barajas, Jeff Francoeur, and Alex Cora.
Tonight's starting pitcher brought to you by the Indians Team Shops, where you get 2 tickets when you spend $50. Justin Masterson on the mound, looking to make another quality start for the Indians. 2-5. He's won his last 2 starts, pitched very well in his last 3, and he'll get a crack at the Mets tonight.
And the first pitch to Reyes is down and in for ball 1. 77 degrees, our game time temperature here at Progressive Field. Reyes again, watching it go past 2 balls and no strikes. This guy has really caught fire here of late. 12 for his last 25. And this is not a good sign, as Masterson has fallen behind 3-0 to start the game.
Well, it all comes down to arm slot and finding it. We watched Westbrook the other day search for it, and he finally found it. And I'm sure Masterson's going to go over there and try and stay behind the ball and find that arm slot as well.
And a walk to start the ball game.
Let's take a look at the Home Depot doing more on defense Indians defensive lineup. Kearns, Crow, and Chu, they are in the outfield. It'll be Peralta, Donald, Valbuena, and Branyan on the infield. Carlos Santana behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
Angel Pagan steps in now with that runner at first, and Reyes can run. He has 16 stolen bases.
Well, the Mets as a team can run. They have 64. They are first in the National League in that department. So you would think that you would expect to see the running game going.
And there he goes. Santana, good throw, but it's high. And he slid off the bag, but Donald can't get the tag back in time. So Reyes does have his 17th stolen base of the year.
Well, that's one reason there why you, if you're a second baseman or a shortstop, you keep the tag on that base runner if you can and see if he does come off the base. And if he would have kept it there, well, you see, Donald let him get underneath. He landed on his feet. It was too awkward for him to reach back. He went right underneath the tag and came off the bag. So he's in there for a stolen base. But that's why you keep that tag on if you can.
Pagan tried to bunt it. Came up empty. A ball and 2 strikes. 17 steals for Reyes, but as Rick pointed out, he's not a one-man gang. They have 3 players in the starting lineup tonight in double figures in steals, and you don't see many lineups that can boast that. Outside, 2-2.
Well, in Masterson's last start, which we have to talk about because it was by far his best, he never had a guy reach second base. And you are 6 or 9 pitches into it, and there's already a guy there.
Reached for it, pulls the ball onto the right side, which is what he wanted to do. He gets Reyes over to third with 1 out. So a good at bat for Angel Pagan. Umpires tonight, Kerwin Danley calling the balls and strikes. C.B. Buckner is at first. Doug Eddings at second. Dana DeMuth, the crew chief, is at third. So the Mets with a scoring opportunity here right out of the chute in inning number 1. And the man they refer to really as Mr. Met these days, David Wright, with a dozen homers coming in.
Well, this is a guy, if you make your pitches, he will definitely swing and miss.
Fouls it off.
And last start, right-handed hitters were 0 for 13 off Masterson, so he's got an opportunity. Wright has struck out 74 times this year. And this is where you can go for it as a starting pitcher.
Ground ball. Deep and short, Donald. Long throw, and he's called safe at first. So David Wright picks up an infield single and his 48th run batted in on the year. Definitely a close play at first.
Wright got out of the box in a hurry. That ball jammed him, and you can see Donald probably just got a little too you got to know your runners. You got to know the speed. He straightened up, and he probably could have gotten rid of that ball a little quicker. And that cost him an out.
Yeah, the runs
they would have scored anyway. That's right. It cost him an out.
And it brings up Ike Davis.
It's a young man taking New York by storm, isn't he? Since his call up.
7 home runs will do that for you. Missed outside. Struggling a little bit here of late, and you talked about swinging and missing. 33 strikeouts in 34 games since May 8th. Strike called. 1-1 to count.
Well, how many young hitters do you see him play this much to pull? And you're a young hitter.
Hit that off the end of the bat awkwardly to Peralta. They get 1 at second, on to first, and inning-ending double play. But the Mets strike first. They lead it 1-0 as the Tribe comes to bat against Johan Santana when we return. The 3-hole. Travis Hafner, Austin Kearns, Russell Brandon in the middle. Johnny Peralta, Luis Valbuena, and Jason Donald rounded out.
Johan Santana on the mound making his 14th start. A 4-3 record. Only a 2.96 ERA. 74 hits in his 85 innings, 58 strikeouts. 7-7 in his career against the Indians. He has not pitched against them since 2007. But a guy that, if he's on his game, he's got a really good changeup. He's a fastball changeup, and he will throw an occasional breaking ball. Coming off a loss to the Padres.
At the knees, a called strike.
But Santana in his last 6 starts, 1-1 record, but an ERA of 1.45.
Popped foul down the right side. That will find its way into the seats. Well, it's funny when you think back to that 2007 season, the last time we saw him pitching in Minnesota, you wonder, boy, how would the Minnesota Twins cope with the loss of a guy like Johan Santana? How would they? Well, they've coped very well, and Santana has obviously gone on and pitched well for the New York Mets.
Yeah, you're right, but you're saying this was their number 1 stud, and they had Francisco Liriano coming up right when they were losing him. He came up actually Liriano in 2006. But you're thinking, boy, you had these 2 left-handers. They are going to be dominant for quite some time. But then the big money came out in Minnesota. They didn't keep them. And they're still playing at a very good caliber.
Fouled back by Trevor Crowe. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, the thing with Johan Santana, too, Rick, is, when you look at how dominant he was when he was in a Twins uniform. Obviously, from their perspective, every time he took them out, they felt like they were going to win the game. And from the opposition standpoint, you knew it was going to be tough to beat him.
Yeah, it was going to be a tough win if you got it. That's exactly right.
Crow punches it to center where it's caught by Pagan, 1 down.
Set the Mets defense. They are rated 4th in the National League. And when you look at the outfield, it's Bay, Pagan, and Francoeur. On the infield, you have Wright, Reyes, Cora, Davis. Behind the plate, Rod Barajas. They have made 33 errors in 63 games, so a pretty solid defense. And their pitching has been solid. We showed you the numbers in the month of June. They have been very stingy.
Shin-Soo Choo takes a ball down low. .291 batting average for Choo, who is riding an 11-game hitting streak. Batting .364 during his tear. Just 3 for 12 over the weekend against the Nationals. A little bit low, and it's quickly 3-0.
The reason why Manny Acta has the left-handers in his lineup today, because left-handers are hitting .299 off Santana. Righty's just .215. So they figure, you know, we're going to take that. And he will throw the changeup to him, but it won't be as effective, I don't think, as it is to the right-handers.
Out of play. And I think I go back to something too, Rick, that our old pal Brian Anderson used to say as a left-handed starter. When you would see a team stack the lineup with all right-handed hitters against you, you get into a groove.
Yeah, you only have to worry about that one side of the plate. You're right. And you command either your cutter inside or your fastball inside and that changeup away, and it keeps you in a groove because you don't have to make that adjustment to working both sides of the plate.
This is driven pretty well to left center, but it's going to die out there into the glove of Pagan, 2 down. All month long, when the Indians hit a home run, STO, Shell, and Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care giving away free gasoline. Our first contestant tonight is Quinn Brown from Perrysville. Shell will provide $300 in free gas for each home run the Indians hit, plus $1,000 in free gas and a set of tires from Conrad's for each Grand Slam hit in June. Visit STOHD.com to register. And a strike called to Carlos Santana. Youngster got the call up for the weekend series against Washington and has not disappointed. And he punches this one, almost hit the bag at second. Cora unloads to first, and the inning is over. Tribe goes 1-2-3, and after an inning, it's New York 1, Cleveland nothing. fly right. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. One zip, Mets on top, second inning here at Progressive Field. Interleague play featuring the Indians and the New York Mets, who have not met since 2004, and that was a series played at Old Shea Stadium. Mets now play in brand new Citi Field, which is a palace like all of the new ballparks, but it's much different, Rick. And you know, it was interesting.
It's more of a pitcher's park.
Reading about how the Mets maybe overthought their offensive approach going into that ballpark last year, and what they had to do to be successful. And this year they've kind of gone back to basics. Valbuena throws out Jason Bay. One down here in the second. Hey, it's time now for the AT&T trivia question. AT&T Rethink Possible. And tonight we ask you to name the three players in Mets history that have had a 30-30 season. 30 homers, 30 steals. 3 Mets have done that. Okay, Darryl Strawberry has to be one, right?
Probably.
Howard Johnson is the other. I wonder if George Foster did it. I mean, he had a big year for the Mets. Hit like 50 home runs.
He wasn't a base stealer, though.
No? Probably a more modern Met then. Jose Reyes, no?
No, not a 30 home run guy.
Chris Carter takes a strike. Well, I don't want to get all 3 answers right. I want to let our audience have some fun.
Oh, listen to you. How do you know the first 2 are? You got to wait and see.
Well, I remember guesses. Those ones. I remember Hojo specifically. Chopper towards first. Brandon with the flip, and that's 2 gone here in the second.
Well, we would like you to fill the house for Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. That'll be tomorrow. The Indians will continue this series with the Mets. It'll start at 7:05. For every ticket sold, $1 will be donated to the charity. Great lower box seats are still available. Call 216-420-HITS or visit Indians.com.
Rod Barajas. Takes a strike at the knees, outside corner. Finds the hole on the right side and a base hit with 2 down here in the second for Rod Barajas.
Barajas, when you look at it, he's having a pretty good year for him. He was a late sign. As you take that little fastball, little sinker away into right field. He never signed till sometime in February. Played with Toronto last year, and I'll tell you, it's worked out so far very well for him.
This is headed up the middle, but Valbuena closes the gap, touches the bag, and the inning is over. We head to the bottom of the second. It's New York 1, Cleveland 0. Mets fans here at Progressive Field, some of them perhaps have made the trip from New York. Check out Progressive Field. Some of them may, in fact, be living here among us.
Well, you know, when you talk about New York fans, the Yankees have yet to come here. They're going to come here in late July. If you have New York fans here, they're mostly Yankee fans, I would think. You know, you don't see many people around here, you know, rooting for the Mets.
Well,
it's fun when you go to New York and you see, because, I mean, they have their following, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big rivalry there.
It's like Cubs and White Sox in Chicago.
Right.
The two never meet halfway.
That's true. It's all or nothing.
Santana delivers. The Mets shift for Hafner, 3 on the right side.
Well, Hafner has 40 at-bats off him in his career, so they have a track record. Travis has homered 4 times.
Fastball strike, and the count 1-2.
And Santana will give up the home run ball. He's given up 6, but he gave up 4 in one start in Philly on May 2nd. Gave up 10 runs in 3 2/3 innings. In that game, I was watching that game. It was a Sunday night game, and Philly just pounded him.
And Hafner pounds this one deep into the bullpen, and the Indians tie the game. Cronk's 8th home run of the year, his 26th RBI. And he says, "Hello, old friend Johan, I've missed you."
Well, I'll tell you what Hafner is doing now. He is getting some top hand on that baseball down and in. And, I mean, he's hit 3 of the home runs that he's hit. He has really been quick in there. Hits his 8th. This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. And look at that. Boom. Very quick inside. This one right into the Mets bullpen. That is his 4th homer in his last 7 games.
That looked like a repeat swing on the one I saw Sunday against
I know
Strasburg.
it.
Down and in, just digs it out.
He went down, and it was very short and quick to the baseball. So we have a new ball game. It is 1-1.
Now, when you say being short and quick to the baseball, does that have to do with your hand movement before you set the swing, or is it simply...
It's just getting it up there and getting to wherever that ball is, in or outside, in a hurry, and getting those hands into the hitting area. He was very quick.
Austin Kearns rifles one into the mitt of David Wright at third. And that is out number 1. Boy, he blistered that.
Watch his hands when they get to the baseball, down and in, how quickly they come from that shoulder area down. It's not a big swing. He's not wrapping around it. He's getting it down there. He had extension. He met that ball just out in front of home plate, had the barrel head out front, and it just jumped off his bat.
4 of Hafner's 8 home runs this year have been hit in the 2nd inning.
You got to be kidding.
And 6 of his home runs have been leading off innings. So Tommy Bowe, I think he stayed up late working on his stats for tonight's game.
Yes, his home run chart.
Russell Brandon, a big swing and a miss, and the count is 1-1.
The thing you try to do with Santana is hopefully you get a runner or 2 on and you can hit one and you can have a big inning, because this guy gets tougher when you get runners on base, and he rarely gives up a hit when runners are in scoring position. So, I mean, you take anything you can get, but you hope you have a couple guys on.
1-2 pitch. Rick, when you have a guy who has a changeup as good as Santana's, do you find yourself in a guessing game with the pitcher?
Sometimes you can. I mean, he will establish his fastball. His changeup is his best pitch, and it has been. But he has to establish a fastball and make a presence with that pitch before you can end up falling in love with that changeup. He doesn't throw a lot of breaking balls, so that's a pitch that's out of the equation, I would think, as a hitter. You're guessing hard or you're guessing soft, and he'll throw that changeup at any time and any count.
So it's tough to get a beat on him.
Yeah, it is.
In terms of him falling into a pattern, that's not going to happen.
No, he doesn't fall into patterns. You just hope, take his fastball the other way, and maybe it'll keep you back on his changeup. And just react if he tries to throw one by you inside, exactly what Hafner did.
And Russell Branyan draws a 1-out walk. Let's get a look at our Subway fresh face of the game. And down at AAA Columbus, Jared Goddard last night hit a solo home run. You see what he's doing with Columbus, what he did at Akron. He has 6 doubles in his last 8 games. So he is rolling right now for the Clippers. Here's Johnny Peralta, who walked into the clubhouse today, saw his name in the lineup, and probably started to cringe.
Well, yeah, it's just one of those things where Peralta has had really no success against Santana in his career. I don't even want to give you the number, so it doesn't matter.
Well, let's put it this way. He has 3 hits and a whole lot of strikeouts.
Well, every day's a different day.
The 1-0 pitch. And Peralta spanks it into left field.
There you go, Johnny. Forget that guy. That's a different guy, different uni.
Rick Manning, baseball analyst / philosopher. Today is a new day.
Well, I'll tell you what, that must not look like the same Santana, but he's smiling. Look at that. He knows. You know as a hitter that when a pitcher owns you, and you go out there and you just try for something different. That was a fastball that was down in the zone. Johnny went down and got it. And got a base hit. Good for him. Maybe that'll give him a little more confidence now.
Luis Valbuena steps in with 2 aboard, 1 out. A run already in here on the Hafner homer. We're tied in the second. Let me ask you, though, for Johnny Peralta, for example, when you're 3 for 28 with 22 strikeouts against the guy coming into a game.
You had to get those numbers in, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Is it the same kind of mindset for a hitter as it is if you're in, say, just an 0 for 20 slump?
Yes. Maybe you don't pick the ball up well off a guy, and, you haven't hit many balls hard, and when you do, maybe they catch him. No, it's just one of those things. You go up there and say, I'm going to have to play good defense today because I may not get any hits. I did that with a guy named Ron Guidry. He had my number, and I wasn't very good, so I said, well, I better stop a lot of balls.
Valbuena finds the hole. Branyan coming around third, going to get the stop sign because Francoeur got to it quickly. And the bases are loaded with 1 out here in the second. Back-to-back singles for the Indians. Their 3rd hit of the inning off Johan Santana.
Now, rarely do you string a lot of hits together, and I told you before that he's awfully tough with runners in scoring position. He has held hitters to a 145 average in that slot. Well, now that's just the 10th hit given up by Santana this year. Well, they have their opportunities, boy, and take advantage of it when you can. That's why you put the left-handers in there. Hafner led the inning off with a home run. You've got a Valbuena single. You got a Branyan walk in this inning, and Manny Acta says, I'm going to play the odds. I'm going to keep my left-handers in there, and so far, they've done just fine.
Now let's see what the rookie Jason Donald can do against Santana, and he waves at that changeup.
There it is, at any time. He knows a young hitter is going to be aggressive looking for the fastball. He may not see a fastball in this at-bat because Santana's going for the punch-out.
Jerry Manuel. Bit concerned here in the early going. Donald tried to bunt it,
out.
And it hit him as he came out of the box.
It sure did. He was out of the box, and, man, he made the right call. He's telling him, man, and he did. He made the right call. I watched it. It hit him when he was out of the batter's box. He looked like he might have been bunting on his own. I mean, he can go out and argue, but you'll see. The replay will show that he was definitely out of the box. Here it goes. It hasn't hit him yet. Now it hits him, and he's out of the box. This is a better angle. Down. It hasn't hit him yet. It hasn't hit him yet. It does right now. And he is definitely out of the batter's box. Good call by Kerwin Danley.
So the putout goes to Barajas, unassisted, 2 down, bases still loaded. Now, you can debate the merits of a strategy there, but if he pushes that ball into fair territory, I think that's probably a base hit and the run's going to score.
Well, you're going to get a run home. I mean, he was doing that on his own. That wasn't a safety squeeze or anything like that. I think he was just doing that on his own to push it, which is not a bad idea. But he was trying to run before he got the ball down.
So 2 down now for Trevor Crowe. Fly to center his first time up.
Yeah, nothing makes you more upset than as a hitter when you make an easy out when you're trying to bunt.
Crowe bangs one in the hole, left field, base hit. Branyan scores the go-ahead run. Here comes Johnny Peralta. He scores 2. Trevor Crowe delivers a 2-out, 2-run single into left field, and the Indians now lead it 3-1.
All right, Trevor Crowe, a big base hit with 2 out.
That's a way to pick up a teammate.
That's exactly right. I mean, you go out there and he does the exact right thing. You get a base hit, you pick your teammate up. Nothing better than a 2-out base hit against a guy like Santana, because now you don't let him get settled. You shake him up early. They've got a 3 spot on the board.
And already a 22-pitch inning for Johan Santana here in the second. And Chu takes a strike.
4 hits in the inning. That's impressive. This is a guy that gives up less hits than innings pitched, and it's tough to bunch hits around him.
Chu's the 8th man to hit in the inning.
You usually don't have many big innings with just singles, but the leadoff homers have really set the tempo.
You don't see many 8 men going to the plate innings against Santana.
That's exactly right.
As you said, he'll give up some solo home runs. But the Indians have strung it together here in the second, and Justin Masterson has to love the offensive support he's seeing so far. And Chu hammers it to right, but Frank Coor is there to make the grab, and the inning comes to an end. Travis Hafner started the second inning with a blast into the bullpen. Trevor Crowe capped it with a 2-out, 2-run single. For the Mets, one-time Cleveland Indian. Boy, it seems like a long time ago, though, doesn't it? I know it wasn't.
Well, no, you're right. It wasn't that long ago. And, he was only here for the 1 year, had a 2-year deal, and they traded him off to Boston. It had to be, 4 or 05?
That's what I was thinking. It was 04, but I'm going to look it up just to be sure. Boy, this Mets media guide is massive, by the way. 0-5. And then he stayed with the Red Sox until last year when he signed on with the Mets. And a one-hop smash to Donald. And the Indians shortstop with a nice spin and throw to retire Cora. One down here in the third. Here's our great clip of the game, brought to you by Great Clips. Justin Masterson's last start was tremendous against those Boston Red Sox. A complete game, 2-hit shutout. Yeah. Relax. You're at Great Clips, and it was easy to relax the way he pitched that night.
It certainly was on that night. Yes, it was. And you don't see many games like that. And then a couple days later, Carmona comes back and pitches another gem on his start. So the two big right-handers were outstanding. And the way he's doing it is exactly how you want him to do it. The ground ball. He had 18 last time out. He's got 25 ground ball outs in his last couple of starts. And he's got, when he stays on top of the ball.
It's going to slice down into the corner, just foul.
Boy, not by much. Usually that ball slices more. You
that
think
held
it's going to go
for
yes,
quite a while.
It sure did. I mean, normally those things really take off and they slice back. That one sort of straightened out a little bit. All right, it missed by about 3 feet, but
give Reyes credit. He was running down the first baseline.
So this guy's normally, he's a triple machine. He's exciting to watch when he hits one in the gap.
Off the end of the bat, right back to Masterson. The flip to the bag, and we've got 2 quick outs here in the third. I'll bring up Pagan, who grounded to second his first time up. Justin Masterson has retired 3 straight, and every out he has recorded in the game has been via the ground ball. The 2-0 pitch. It's interesting, Rick, because you think about Masterson and how good he was in that last start, first career shutout, 2-hitter. It's unrealistic to think he's going to come out and be that good in his next start.
No, you don't expect. No, that's a one-time game a year. I mean, if you can pitch one like that every year, that's spectacular. You just go out and look for consistency. I like it. Today he's getting the ground ball outs. That's the thing of beauty.
Nice play by Brandon. And the Mets go 1-2-3. We head to the bottom of the third. 3-1 Indians. Fast pitch softball team taking in tonight's ball game. They've got an exhibition game tomorrow in Canton, and they've got one in Ashland on Thursday, and then they're heading to Venezuela to compete for the World Championship.
Very good.
So good luck to Team USA, the women's fast pitch softball.
They were down on the field right before game time. Big Warren and the boys from down in Ashland brought them into town.
That's right, Warren Jones, and of course they had Ron Radagando and a number of top people from USA softball. You know who else I met before the game that was with them was Ken Erickson, who was one of the assistant coaches. He was a former Pan American Games teammate of our buddy Tom Zappone.
Oh, no kidding.
Fast pitch softball on the men's side, yeah. Carlos Santana grounded out to second base his first time up.
Yeah, he got inside on a fastball against Santana that time up.
Two balls, two strikes. You mentioned to me before we came on the air tonight that what you've liked from Santana in the first couple of games, you've seen him, doesn't seem to be, he's not tentative.
No, he attacks the strike. You know, he goes after that baseball where he's saying, I'm hitting it until I see it's out of the zone. He's very aggressive. I like that. And from both sides of the plate. I mean, he looks like he belongs right in that third spot. Manny Actor was right. He's the one that put him there, thinking, look, I want this kid, if they got to pitch to him, get him some pitches. And, you know, he's been a middle-of-the-lineup hitter his whole career. He's been a 300 hitter. He's hit for average. He's got a good eye at the plate. Why not put him up there? He did that. And I'll tell you what, this kid, he looks impressive. And I know it's only 3 games. And, you know, they'll make adjustments to him.
Well, maybe you can speak to that for fans who maybe aren't aware the challenges for a rookie to step into his first game. Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, he's not going to get those kind of calls, I can tell you that, because that guy, the 2-time Cy Young Award winner, is going to get him. That's, you keep your mouth shut, you walk back. I don't know if that was a strike from where it was a changeup, I know. 3-2 pitch, let's say. Okay. That's not too bad. Right now, that's Cy Young on the mound, kid. He's got 2 Cy Youngs. He's going to call it. So you know what? You walk back. It's going to take you a couple of years before you get that call.
Well, what are the challenges for a young hitter, Rick, to step into a lineup and you're batting third?
That's no big deal. He's very comfortable there. You know why? He knows how to hit. He's a hitter. He's a ball player.
But you're a young player.
It doesn't matter.
No?
It doesn't matter whether you're big leagues, A ball, double A. He knows one thing: see ball, hit ball, let me go. And no, I really don't. I think when you act like that, and you belong there, and you respect where you're hitting, everything is fine. Well, your good players do it. It may take them a little while to make an adjustment or something like that, but good hitters and good players in this game, they finally make that adjustment. And your good ones make them in a lot less time.
Travis Hafner homered to the bullpen his first time up. He hit a blistering shot out of here. This one's back into the seats. I mean, the reason I ask you is because most of the time, when you see young players come up, they're hitting in the bottom of the lineup.
Sure. Well, that's because they pay guys big money to hit balls in the middle part like that.
Hafner, absolutely.
You know, I mean,
there aren't spots in the middle open for a young player.
And a lot of times now, managers don't want to put pressure on the young kids. They want them to get comfortable. But I'm going to tell you, if you got a good makeup, and there's nothing wrong with doing what they're doing.
Hafner with his second hit of the night. He clobbered that one right back up the middle.
Well, I like this. They tried to run a couple in there. There's a change up away. He takes it right back up the middle and kept his hands back on that one. That's 2 good at-bats right there by Hafner. Dropping the bat head on his home run that you saw about 2 pitches before. He stays on that changeup and hits it right back up the middle. So the Indians now with 5 hits and Hafner with 2 of them.
And here's Austin Kearns, who hit the ball right on the nose his first time up, but he hit it right into the glove of third baseman David Wright. Routine bouncer to short. They go to second for one and on to first. Inning-ending double play. 3 complete from Progressive Field. It's the Indians 3 and the Mets 1. Justin Masterson delivers a first pitch strike to David Wright. David Wright with a dozen home runs already this year. Bounces this one foul, and that's a credit, obviously, to David Wright. He's the guy in the batter's box, but he also tips his cap to hitting coach Howard Johnson, who said we wanted to focus on, and this is where you'll have to break this down for us laymen. He said we wanted to work on catching the ball out in front and driving it more to left field.
No, it's just getting your bat head out in front a little bit more.
He didn't catch anything there other than he caught a good look at that pitch for
caught
strike
a
3.
Good pitch is what he caught.
Right. So that's out number 1 here in the 4th. We'll quickly send it back to the studios. Dave Chudowski has a very important in-game update. Chud?
Yeah, Matt, big news. Tom Izzo is staying at Michigan State. He has turned down the offer to coach the Cavaliers. The school will have a press conference at 8:30 tonight. For more, check out Channel 3 News at 11 for the latest. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Chud. Jason Donald with a bare hand grab and throw, but not in time, as Ike Davis just does beat it out for an infield hit.
Well, Masterson just knocked that ball and deadened it too much. You know, they had the shift on again, and that ball scooted about 20 feet past the mound. And look where Donald's playing. He's almost out on that grass. And once Masterson gets that ball, there's really no chance. And Ike Davis doesn't get down the line really fast. He's slow, very slow. And right there you see him do everything he can. It's bang, bang again. And in the 2 times we've had C.B. Buckner, I've never seen him make one call go the Indians' way. It was in New York for 4 games. He had a close one in the first inning today and one here. And they've all gone against the Indians, and they've all gone New York's way. 4 for the Yankees and 2 for the Mets.
Jason Bay takes a strike on the inside corner.
I have a feeling tonight we're going to see one go the Indians' way, though, at first.
The law of averages, it has to tip, to tip our way eventually. Donald with a backhander, but the ball rolls free, and his throw is not even close. So 2 aboard with 1 out here in the 4th inning.
Well, I think he got in a little too much of a hurry right there and wanted to make a great double play instead of just make sure you get one first. Watch, he's trying to stop, plant, and get it and throw before you catch the ball. Once you drop it at short, you're not going to get anybody. Just got ahead of himself. And just a little too fast on that play. So an error for Donald, and you hope Masterson can pick him up.
Chris Carter grounded out to first base his first time up. Two on with 1 out here in the 4th. For the year, the Mets are a .265 batting average team with runners in scoring position. But the numbers strikingly different home and away.
Yes.
And a lot of that has to do with why they're playing so well at home and so poorly on the road. At home, they hit .281 with runners in scoring position, just .244 on the road.
But you say, the new City Park is a good pitcher's ballpark. They have less homers. But, it's hard to figure out. They pitch so well at home. You can understand that.
Well, last year, Jerry Manuel and Howard Johnson, what they wanted to do is they talked to their hitters about staying inside the ball longer, let it track deeper in the zone, and try to go to the opposite field more. And Jerry Manuel said that had nothing to do with the ballpark, but he said we were just trying to make our guys better all-around hitters. Weekly hit to second. Valbuena gets one there. Donald's relay, too high.
Jeez, he's having a tough day over there at short.
First and third, and now 2 are out.
Masterson doing everything he can. He got another ground ball. Valbuena gets it to Jason Donald right there. And now the throw coming back is high. And it brings Branyan off. Another double play ball that should have been turned. So they got, let me see, they're getting about 5 outs in this inning.
Yeah, because the hit that Ike Davis had, Masterson knocked it
right
down.
They're getting 5 outs in this inning.
If he'd have let that one go past him, it would have been an easy out. There's a long drive deep to left. Kearns racing back, reaches up, makes the catch, and hangs on. Oh, a terrific play by Austin Kearns because that had trouble written all over it. But he gets out of the inning unscathed, and it's still 3-1 Cleveland. Tom Izzo saying no to the Cleveland Cavaliers. At least that's the report. And very interesting because all of Cleveland's sort of been sitting around waiting now ever since that word leaked out that he was their guy and they wanted to get him for the job. But doesn't look like he's coming to Cleveland.
I don't think they're going to get a head coach until they find out if LeBron's coming back. I mean, why would you want to coach this team if he's not going to sign? And he's not going to sign until what, after July 1st?
It would certainly.
Why come here and coach?
Yeah, it would certainly have an impact on your decision, I would think.
I would hope so.
Different team with him or without him.
Me?
0-2 pitch. Brandon bounces it towards second. Cora throws him out. One down. Let's pause 10 seconds now for station identification. You're watching Cleveland Indians baseball. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you here at Progressive Field, where the Indians fell behind 1-0 in the first, then rallied for a 3-run second. And that's where we stand here. Try batting bottom of the fourth with one out and Johnny Peralta at the plate. He singled and scored off Johan Santana. Johnny, just his fourth career hit against Santana. Little tapper foul. Well, if in fact that becomes the official word that Tom Izzo has turned down the Cleveland Cavaliers, then the search machine will, I'm certain, will kick into high gear once again right across the way here. Dan Gilbert and the Cavaliers will be aggressively pursuing someone to take over that.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, they're going to talk about it day after day after day until something happens.
But I agree with you. It sort of puts the franchise in an awkward position that they have to wait.
Well, that's what free agency brings. And when you're talking about a player of his magnitude, and he's going to play it out and play the game the way it has to be played, it's going to be tough to get somebody.
Just missed a ball and 2 strikes. And I don't know that many fans realize that you are the resident NBA expert with the Cleveland Indians organization.
No, I am not. I enjoy watching it. I really do.
No, I made you. I proclaimed you the resident expert.
Yes, you did. They call me Dr. Arch.
Dr. Archie. and that is with all due respect to Dr. Jack Ramsey, who's one of my all-time favorites. I don't think anybody does.
I just
the
have
NBA
a little more
better.
hair than him. That's
Other
all.
than you. You're a close second to Dr. Jack. But it will be an interesting summer, nonetheless.
Oh, yeah.
For the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Well, you got a couple of weeks to go. I mean, this is the 15th of June right now, so you've got another 2 weeks.
2-2. Again, Peralta's having a heck of an at-bat here.
Yes, he is. He was down in the count 0-2. Hafner was down in the count 0-2 back in the third. He got his base hit. Johnny's down in the count, and this is a guy that Johnny has struggled with. But he got a base hit in his first at-bat, and I told you maybe it'll give him a little more confidence. This is a 7-pitch at-bat.
I'll bet there were nights in the old Metrodome where Johnny didn't see 7 pitches and 4 at-bats.
Well, yes, he did. He struck out. Yes, he did. He saw about 12.
3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out here in the fourth.
Well, I'll tell you what, regardless of what happens, he's turned this back into a pretty good at-bat after being down 0-2.
Payoff pitch. And again, he rifles it past Steve Smith. He's watched a few of those go by him here in this inning.
And another thing you love to do is when you have an at-bat like this, you just make this guy work a little harder and hopes you can get him out of the game a little earlier with the pitches and the pitch count.
And again, it's foul. So Johnny Peralta, with his battle against Johan Santana, is starting to helped to inflate that pitch count, too. Santana up to 65 tosses already.
Well,
tonight.
he normally averages right around 16 pitches per inning. Good at bat. Very good.
So Peralta down to first, 1 on, 1 out. And Luis Valbuena to the plate. But while I have a moment, I want to thank everyone who came out and made my golf tournament yesterday in Ashland, Ohio, a huge success, yourself included.
Well, it was a great. You guys did a terrific job out there. It was a great country club. Ashland Country Club is nice. It was a beautiful day. Didn't get rained on.
Terrific turnout.
You raised a lot of money for a terrific cause.
Takes off on the first move.
That was
Santana
a balk.
is called for the balk by second base umpire Doug Eddings.
And by home plate umpire Kerwin Danley. There's no way. How can the first base umpire not see it? He was coming to home plate and stepped to first. I saw it from up here, and I'm a lot farther away.
I think, you know what I think happened? I think Santana got fooled by Peralta.
He did, because he took off first pitch. Look, he's going to the plate. He was... he could have twisted his ankle. I mean, look at that. I mean, if you ever could see a balk, that's one right there. But both Doug Eddings saw it at second base. Kerwin Danley saw it at home plate. How C.B. Buckner did not see it is beyond me.
Now the 0-1 pitch coming to Luis Valbuena. Fouled back. 0-2 the count.
That was, you know what they did? Manny started them on first movement. He said, go ahead and take off. They're not expecting Johnny to run. And you were right. It surprised Santana before he threw to first base.
It's almost like he didn't believe what he was seeing with
well,
his
you know
eyes.
what? You might as well try and throw it over there because he's going to steal it anyway if you throw
true.
home.
That's a good point. Taps it by the mound. Peralta will get to third. Cora throws out Valbuena, 2 down.
Well, a tribe game at Progressive Field is a perfect chance to have a group outing because special discounts are available for groups of 25 or more, up to 50% off every ticket for select games. So call 216-420-HITS or visit Indians.com to plan your group event today.
Santana delivers and Donald shoots it back to the screen, foul. One ball, one strike. Runner at third, 2 down here in the 4th inning. Bouncing ball up the middle, it's through. Jason Donald with a 2-out RBI single, 4-1 Cleveland, as the Indians' 2-out RBI mastery continues. 3 of the 4 runs tonight all coming after 2 men were out, and that's been a familiar theme for this team all season long.
Well, you know, and they're doing something that Santana rarely does, is give up hits with runners in scoring position. They've been able to be successful at it here tonight. So a big 2-out base hit by Donald increases the lead to 4-1 for Donald, his 7th ribby.
Lobs a throw over. Donald does not have a steal.
Well, you see why he's throwing to first now. I'm going to keep you guys from going on first movement, so he'll keep a closer eye on him.
Popped him up on the infield. Second baseman Alex Cora makes the catch, and the inning is over, but the Indians add to their lead. It's now 4-1 Cleveland through 4 innings of play. Stop in and start a conversation and unlock your possibilities. And by Panini's. Visit PaninisGrill.com for a list of new locations. 4-1 Indians as we go to the 5th inning here at Progressive Field. Really jumped back to Jeff Francoeur. That ball almost nailed him.
Yes, it did.
Francoeur, Alex Cora, and Jose Reyes here in the 5th for the New York Mets. Yanks that one into left field. And New York has their leadoff man aboard with Alex Cora coming to the plate. You know, Rick, when Rod Barajas, as we get a look back at the base hit here by Francoeur, when Barajas flied to deep left to end the 4th inning, that was the first ball the Mets hit in the air in the game against Justin Masterson.
Yeah, he's been keeping it on the ground, and you like to see that.
Cora bunts it. Santana, nobody at first.
Oh, boy, mistake by Valbuena. Santana had him, and, you know, he was ready to throw, and he got caught napping. Boy, the defense here up the middle has been very lackadaisical today for the Tribe. That's a play. I mean, he's not there. Santana jumps out. Cora, just the element. Look where he's playing. Now watch him. He got lazy and then didn't realize it, and he gets beat to the bag. Goes an infield single, although that's an error. That's a mental error right there by Valbuena, not covering first. So back-to-back innings now. The defense has been a little shoddy.
Now Jose Reyes, he's going to bunt.
Sure.
Masterson has to hurry, throws it away. And Valbuena looks like he got spiked. 1 run scores on the play. It's a 4-2 ball game.
Well, they could keep bunting right now and keep pressure on. This guy is his game is speed, is bunting. Francoeur comes in to score. And I don't know if there's going to be a base hit and an error or a straight error. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see. Masterson gets over there. Valbuena gets over now. This time in time, and it's a bad throw. So it'll go as an error on Masterson. And I mean a straight error. That throw wide at first base.
You can see Valbuena.
So it's a 1-1.
Spiked.
It's a base hit and an error.
Now a bullet hit to Branyan. He'll take the out at first. And that's the first out in the inning. And now David Wright, 1 for 2, steps in. He had an infield RBI hit his first time up. Called out on strikes his last time to the plate. Let's get a look at our GMC 5-star league leaders, brought to you by the GMC Sierra. Never send a truck to do a Sierra's job. RBI leaders in the National League, David Wright.
Look at Troy Gloss up there, too, man. He's having some kind of year for Atlanta, isn't he? Johnny Gomes, a late sign for Cincinnati. And Casey McGee. Wow, there's some names up there you would not expect to see in the National League.
One pitch. Low and away, 2 balls and a strike. I would have to say, Rick, that Troy Gloss is probably your best bet for National League Comeback Player of the Year.
As of right now, I mean, there's still, quite a ways to go. But I would agree with you. He's been outstanding.
2-1 pitch. Up the middle. Donald flags it down. Throws to first. And he's safe. Throw to home. And he's safe there. Santana couldn't come up with it. You're not going to get a close call at first base. And the Mets have cut the Indians' lead And it's now a tie game at 4-all.
Give him 2 RBIs on an infield single.
Is there a full moon tonight?
I don't know, but this, I'll tell you what. He went down, pop-up slide. He beat it out. He was safe. Brandon comes off the bag to throw home wild. Good hustle there by Reyes. And they have a 3-run inning, and they have just tied the score.
They have tied the score, and 1 ball has left the infield.
Yeah, it's been a
and
terrible
that was the leadoff
inning.
hit.
Yeah, that's been a terrible inning defensively. And you can forget about that if it stays fair.
He scoops it up in foul ground.
Why not? Davis says, I'm seeing everybody else reach base, touching, bunting the ball. Why shouldn't I try? And they've got the shift on.
Well, these National League teams really like small ball.
That puts pressure on the defense, and I'll tell you, it's not a bad way to go to make something happen.
It's been a real staple for the Mets here tonight.
Well, they have speed, and I had a feeling they would be aggressive on the base path. But it's been the little ball, and it's been bad defense is what has hurt the Tribe. Tribe has, shot themselves in the foot.
Masterson's 2-1 pitch. Right there for a strike to even the count. Again, the Indians with a shift on for Ike Davis. Hit in the air, center field. Crow racing back. He's out of room, and this is out of here. Ike Davis with his 8th home run of the year. A 2-run shot to dead center. It's a 5-run 5th for the Mets. And they now lead it 6-4.
Well, that ball, the crack of the bat, you certainly heard it. Only the 6th home run given up by Masterson this year. And I'll tell you what, that Davis, let's see where this pitch is. He extends the arms. And, boy, it looks like it may have popped it up. Great extension. That went to straightaway center field and had a lot of carry to it. Crow runs out of room, and that ball is gone.
And Tim Belcher, Indians pitching coach, going to go out to the mound and talk with Justin Masterson, who, while he did serve up that long home run to Ike Davis, certainly has had not a whole lot of help from the guys behind him.
All right, there's one not covering first base. Valbuena sleeping. Now comes the other one, a bad throw by Masterson. Bad footwork, didn't get rid of the ball in a hurry. A big guy got to stand there. Then the next thing, ground ball over to first. Brings Brandon off the bag. The good hustle of Reyes scores 2 more. It's just not been a very good game defensively. The Mets now, with a 5-run 5th, have taken a 6-4 lead. And Masterson and the defense let this inning get away from them.
And Jason Bay, the 7th man to bat in the inning for the Mets, is 0 for 2 tonight. Right field, Chu. 2 down. And that will bring up Chris Carter, who is 0 for 2 tonight. Foul tip, 1-1 the count. Russell Brandon will take it himself, and the inning's finally over. 8 Mets come to the plate. 5 touch home safely. And now New York leads it 6-4. Bottom half of inning number 5, Shin-Soo Choo, Carlos Santana, and Travis Hafner. Almost clipped him. He had to spin out of the way. Choo 0 for 2 on the night. Next pitch will be number 75 on the night for Johan Santana. Too high, 2 balls, no strikes. Fouled out of play.
Send along birthday wishes tonight. Margaret Kikow of Cleveland is 87. Emma Rita Mile Fayetteville, Georgia is 84. And a happy 66th anniversary to John and Marie Gallagher of Mentor.
2-1 to Choo, line to left. And Bay grabs it for out number 1.
Well, experience the thrill of playing baseball on Progressive Field with the Indians' one-day baseball experience. That'll all take place Saturday, the 31st of July. And you get to play 2 games on the field, interact with Indians alumni, receive a couple of uniforms, a gift, and much, much more. Space is limited, so call 216-420-HITS.
Carlos Santana 0 for 2. Tried to check his swing, went too far.
See him look back and just ask, is that a strike? Danley said yes, it was. And he's looking at the location because he checked his swing.
Well, he had a big rip there, 0-2. Two-strike offering. Straighten him up with the fastball. 80 pitches now on the night for Johan Santana. 55 have been for strikes. Chops that one on the ground to short. Reyes, he's got a gun for an arm. Throws him out 2 down. And that will bring up Travis Hafner, who homered into the bullpen in the second inning and then singled back in the third. You know, I was thinking back to the golf tournament yesterday when so many highlights and so many great people, sold out field and great sponsors. Obviously, our 2 charities, Team Focus and the Ashland County Cancer Association, benefiting. But I had a tough time picking the highlight of the day. I don't know if it was David Huff out-driving Dave Wallace for the long drive of the day. 320-yard poke. That's...
Well, yeah, they're young kids.
The other highlight of the day, Brian Hyla practicing his short game and using Mike Atkinson as a screen. Ouch. Indians go 1-2-3. It's now 6-4 New York. Rod Barajas, Jeff Francoeur, Alex Cora, bottom third of that Mets lineup. Coming to bat here, 70 pitches on the night so far for Masterson. Barajas singled to right field back in the second inning, and he flied out to deep left in the fourth. Up the middle, Donald. Quick hands, quick release. 1 down. Here's our Northern Ohio Toyota dealers game recap. For a dealer near you, visit buyatoyota.com. Trevor Crowe with a 2-out, 2-run single, but the Indians up 3-1. But the Mets would come back on a bizarre infield 2-run single by David Wright that tied the game up. And then Ike Davis with a monster shot to straightaway center. And it's a 6-4 Mets lead now. Francoeur fouls one off. He singled and scored in that fifth inning. Bouncing in the hole. Donald from his knees. Close play, but Francoeur beats it out.
Nice attempt and a nice try there by Jason Donald. He did everything in his power to get rid of the ball, but you know, when you're on your belly and you have to get up and throw it from deep shortstop, boy, that was awfully close again. So we're just never going to get a call. That's all. I've never seen this many close calls with one guy at the bag.
Alex Cora looks at a ball down low. Alex Cora started the Indians' problems last inning when he bunted the ball, but Carlos Santana had nowhere to throw it to because no one was covering first base to record the out there, and it snowballed on the Indians from there. Masterson ready with a 1-1 pitch. Peralta sneaking in at third. Pitch is outside. You know, with Cora, if it's not a bunt, it's more than likely going to be a potential slap hit where he'll try to punch it the other way. Two-one runner goes, and a foul ball by Cora. This is pitch number 80 for Justin Masterson, and the 2-2 is swung on and missed. That's his second strikeout of the night. 2 down in the inning. Let's give you the answer to our AT&T trivia question. AT&T rethink possible. 3 players in Mets history, 30-30. Darryl Strawberry, Howard Johnson, and most recently, David Wright.
There you go. 30-30. Not an easy thing to do. Ojo did it 3 times.
It's interesting. He's the only 3-time 30-30.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the only multiple 30-30 man. You know, that's another one of those statistics that's sort of. Runner goes. Pitch called a strike. Throw down. Got him. Well, Carlos Santana guns down another base, a would-be base stealer. And we'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 6-4 New York. 6-4. New York Mets lead it as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Well, fishing out on the pier, Arch.
They're looking for dinner.
Indians looking for some runs. Down 6-4. Austin Kearns leading off, takes a strike. He is 0 for 2 tonight. One on one to count. Kearns lined out to third his first time up. Banged into an inning-ending double play in the third. And a strike called. 1-2 the count. Slugged high in the air to left field. Jason Bay will make the catch. 1 down. Tonight's Miller Taste Greatness moment. We're going way back. 1938. Johnny Vandermeer's first full season in the big leagues. And all he did was throw 2 consecutive no-hitters.
Back to back. How about this? This
on
is the
this day,
one.
this was the second one, yeah.
That'll never happen again. At least I wouldn't think so.
Now, what was really interesting is if you noticed the film footage there, that was a night game. Didn't have many of those. It was the very first night game at Ebbets Field.
No kidding. Well, maybe the hitters had to adjust to the lights. They couldn't see it all that well. And back then, those lights weren't very bright, I guarantee you. They may have had flashlights taped to a post.
Well,
and, you know, I'm serious. As good as those lights were.
Branyan drives one deep to left. Bay back on the track. Pulls it down. Two down. We'll go back to the studios for an in-game update. Dave Chodowski has the latest on the Minnesota Twins and their interleague action tonight.
That's right, Matt. Hosting Colorado, third bat of their game. Watch this. Look at this line drive by Troy Tulowitzki. Man, that's off Carl Pavano. Right now, 1-0 in the second. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Dave. That Troy Tulowitzki is a special player.
Yeah, he's very good. That's should be a nice series. I mean, you know, Minnesota, they're not a big ballpark. I mean, it plays big. That ball got out in a hurry, though.
1-0 pitch in the air. Center field. Going to be a quick inning for Santana. Drive goes 1, 2, 3. 6 in the books. 6-4, New York. Reyes leading off and looks at ball one down low. Reyes tonight has been on base twice. He has scored both times. You can just look at Jose Reyes on the field when whether it's in the batter's box, running the bases, or playing defense, and you just see an athlete.
Oh, yeah. When this guy, you know, he's had his issues, his health problems and everything, but when healthy, he is definitely the igniter for this ball club.
One down for Angel Pagan. Battle for Buckeye State bragging rights wraps up a week from Sunday right here on Channel 3. Join us when the Indians finish up the weekend series with in-state rival Cincinnati. Indians Reds Sunday, June 27th at 1 o'clock right here on Channel 3. Pagan 0 for 3 tonight. Good pitch for a strike to even the count. Two and one to count here. Seventh inning. With one out, the Indians down 6-4. Donald. And he has trouble with that. Another error on the Indians shortstop.
That is number 3 tonight. Second on Donald.
And that doesn't take into consideration some of the other plays that the Indians defensively have not made tonight.
That's exactly right. That ball right there, he just, you know, jumps up on him and gets him on the heel of the glove. But a play that he definitely should make. So a one-out error getting into the heart of the lineup now. The Indians were already ranked 11th. They now have 48 errors, which, you know, I don't know what the other teams are doing, but that leads the league right now. 47 Detroit and Seattle had. They were came in with 45.
Pitch is down low, ball one. David Wright has driven in 3 runs tonight without hitting the ball out of the infield. Now tell me how many times that'll happen in your career.
Well, not a whole lot, but when you're going well, David Wright is right now. You're right. That's now has 50 ribbies on the year.
He came in near the top of the RBI standings in the National League. Depending on what happens with everybody else in interleague play tonight, he may take the top spot. Troy Gloss started the night in the lead at 49. Right with a base hit into left field. And there are 2 on with 1 out for Ike Davis.
David Wright gets a ball down in the zone. It caught a little bit of that plate. It was definitely down. But he goes down and hits it into the hole. That is hit number 10 for the Mets.
Well, 91 pitches on the night for Masterson, so Indians bullpen busy. Well, the way he has thrown tonight, though, he could get out of this inning with 1 pitch on that double play ball.
For the Indians on this homestand, they have played better baseball, but this is their 10th error in just their 8th game.
Two and 0. Davis clobbered a 2-run homer to center his last time up. Jensen Lewis from the right side. Rafael Perez out of view.
Oh, I didn't even see anybody else throwing over there. Well, hopefully Masterson once again was going to be able to pick up his defense. Wasn't able to do it in the 5th inning. He did it in the 4th. And now when he's the tank's running low. See if he's got another good sinker in him to get a double play ball.
Missed outside with it. 3 balls and a strike. Three-one pitch, and it's ball 4, and the bases are loaded. And that may be it for Masterson. He just may be out of gas with his lack of command. It's the first walk Masterson has issued since the first batter of the game. But Manny Acta's going to stick with him with the right-handed hitting Jason Bay coming up, who's 0 for 3 tonight.
He's much more capable of getting that double play ball than Jensen Lewis is, the right-hander coming out. But that's this will be his last hitter, I'm sure. They're going to give him one more chance to try and get out of this inning.
One-zero pitch. Called a strike to even the count. Well, this is the part of the game where the Mets have made their money this year. They've outscored the opposition from the 6th inning on by 53 runs this season. And a swing and a miss. Bases loaded for the Mets with Angel Pagan at 3rd, David Wright at 2nd, and Ike Davis down at 1st. The 1-2. Bay stays alive. The 1-2. Again, Bay fights it off. As Rick told you, with Masterson at 101 pitches, more than likely this is his final hitter of the night. Bounces it to 3rd. Peralta quickly to 2nd for 1. Valbuena's relay will not be in time. And the Mets pick up another run. They lead it now 7-4. And there are 2 down in the inning.
Well, Jason Bay just runs too well. You know, for that ball hit over the bag for them to turn it 3rd, 2nd to 1st. So they will get the force out at second base, but he will get an RBI. So the error does come back and hurt the Indians.
And Manny Acta will stick with Masterson as left-handed hitting DH Chris Carter steps in 0 for 3. We've had threatening skies here in downtown Cleveland for much of the afternoon and early evening, but it has not rained. It is raining, however, in Chicago, Cincinnati, and Atlanta tonight. Those games all delayed. High drive, center field, Crow, backpedaling, and makes the catch. The inning is over, but the Mets pick up another run. Stretch time now here in Cleveland. 7-4 New York. Panini'sGrill.com. Now Manny Acta giving Justin Masterson the old pat on the back, but he's on the short end of a 7-4 score here tonight. Carlos Santana saying, well, we tried a few things tonight and it didn't work out. And you know, to Masterson's defense, the defense behind him has not been very good.
No, it has not. It's been terrible. And he made one play that helped that one inning out, the 5-run inning.
He had an error. He had a hand in it. Johan Santana, meanwhile, 92 pitches on the night. 65 for strikes. As Valbuena will be retired. What an athletic play by Santana. One down.
Well, Valbuena trying to take it with him, but, you know, Santana is like a cat off the mound, and you better make sure you get it by him. Makes a nice play right there, first out of the inning.
Johan Santana only needed 9 pitches in the 6th inning and 9 pitches in the 5th inning.
Well, and I know he's settled down, and you know, this is his 8th straight start of 6+ innings. And it was his last start where he had 6 2/3. Other than that, it was 6 straight of over 7 innings.
Left center field. Pagan pulls it down 2 away. Let's pause right now for station identification. You're watching Cleveland Indians baseball. Two down for Trevor Crow. He is 1 for 3. Back in the 2nd inning, Crow put the Indians in the lead with a 2-out, 2-run single. Tribe led this game 4-1 at one point back in the 4th inning, but in the top half of the 5th, the Mets scored 5 runs. And they added 1 in the 7th. Tribe's first run in this ballgame came courtesy of a Travis Hafner home run back in the 2nd inning, and that made Quinn Brown of Perrysville, Ohio, a winner in our Shell home run gas giveaway contest. He won $300 in Shell gasoline courtesy of Travis Hafner's home run. Robert Mason of Cary, Ohio, is our contestant now in the home run giveaway. Strike called, 2-2. Action in the New York Mets bullpen. Another left-hander. It's Pedro Feliciano. Santana's 2-2. Crow yanks it down the left field line. This will find its way into the corner. And Trevor Crow rolls into second base with a 2-out double.
I think it might have been a changeup that got a little too much of the plate. They're sitting away, and it was. There it is, a changeup down. You see middle of the plate, so Crow was able to keep his hands back enough and hit it over the head of David Wright down into the corner. His 5th double of the year, 2nd hit of the night. And the Indians are going to have to continue to try and get that 2-out lightning and catch it and strike again.
100 pitches for Johan Santana, 70% strikes. That's pretty good.
You think?
Seven runs on 10 hits for the Mets, 4 runs, 7 hits for the Indians.
I mean, when you got a night where you can get 4 runs off Santana, you better beat him, because, you know, he's not going to give up any more than that ever. I mean, he may do it a couple times a year, but rarely are you going to. You've got to beat him if you get 4 off Santana. They had 4 in the 4th inning, and a 4-1 lead at that time before the Mets came back, and the run support for him hasn't been that good lately. Look at that play.
Play by Santana. Taking matters into his own hands here tonight. 7 complete, 7-4, New York. Mets lead it. 8th inning action here at Progressive Field. Justin Masterson's night over after 7 innings of work, and Jensen Lewis coming on for the 17th time this year. Rod Barajas looks at a fastball up high for ball 1. High fly ball. Backpedaling is Austin Kearns. And we've got 1 out here in the 8th inning.
Well, the newest Indians team shop opens at Westgate Plaza. That's in Fairview Park. It'll be on Friday. The shop opens at 5:30, and early bird giveaways includes AM, PM, all-you-can-eat seat 3-packs to the first 25 fans and 2 dugout suites to the 4th of July game. So you may want to get out there. Visit Indians.com. They're your team shop for details.
Jeff Francoeur, 2 hits on the night. Scored a run back in the 5th. There's a drive to right. Chu on the dead run. Gets there and then sits down, makes the catch for out number 2.
You see, that's the adjustment that he made. He went back thinking that ball was over his head, but he looked back in time where you're able to stop. But that's the key as an outfielder. You get back to that point, you peek back up, and you readjust if you overrun it, which he did, which is okay. But he peeked back, and there he made the adjustment, makes the catch. He didn't drift back on the ball.
Alex Cora 1 out of 3 tonight with a run scored. Speaking of that Indians team shop that's going to have its grand opening, Chuck Galletti is going to host All Bets Are Off Friday at the Indians team shop at Westgate Plaza. That'll be at 3 o'clock this Friday, and the Indians are going to raffle off a dugout suite. As Rick was talking about there, Father's Day specials, free giveaways. All bets are off. Live with Chuck Galletti from the Indians' new team shop in Westgate Friday at 3. Cora bloops one the other way to left. His second hit of the night, and a 2-out base runner now for Jose Reyes.
Well, you can see it's a changeup coming out of the glove. Not where you want to leave a changeup. It's still got inside on Cora, and he slaps it the other way. Go as a base hit, but you don't want changeups up there.
One ball, no strikes. Reyes takes a strike to even the count. Two balls, one strike. Reyes walked to start the game, then stole second, went to third on a ground ball, came home on an infield single by David Wright. That was in the first inning. And then Reyes was also in the mix in that 5-run fifth inning for New York, in which they took control of the game. He was hacking right there, and it's a full count. Two down, runner at first takes off. Payoff pitch ripped deep to right, but foul. Runner goes, and again it's fouled out of play by Jose Reyes. Cora again will take off at first. Reyes trying Chu in right field, but Chu runs it down. Couple of tough plays for Shin-Soo Choo here in the 8th, but he is equal to the task. However, the Mets lead at 7-4.
Well, I'll tell you what, Santana, he battled, didn't he? Got through there. They got 4 runs on, but he really settled down the last 3 innings. We'll turn it over to his bullpen. Feliciano coming on. He's going to end up facing Santana, Hafner, and Kearns.
All right, so Carlos Santana, 0 for 3, will lead it off.
This Mets bullpen, 3.69 ERA, not a bad job. They have a bullpen that's capable of striking out a lot of hitters. But they have also walked 106 batters, which is second most.
Feliciano unique with that left-handed sidearm delivery. Ooh, close pitch. Santana gets the benefit of the doubt and draws a leadoff walk. And the Indians are only down 3, so by no means are they out of this thing. Especially anytime you get Santana out of the game, you feel like you have a better chance, even though they were able to score 4 times off the Mets left-hander. What's interesting to me when I look at Santana's performance tonight, not so much that the Indians scored 4 runs against him, Rick, but he only struck out 1 Indians hitter tonight. And I look back at all 6 of his starts in 07 against the Indians. He struck out multiple hitters every single game.
Well, that fastball may have been a little bit harder back then. You know what I mean? He had a maybe 3-4 mile an hour difference on that fastball. But what he showed you in the middle part of this game is he got out and had some 8-9 pitch innings.
2 9-pitch innings back to back.
So there you go. I mean, when you can have 2 innings like that, that'll keep you in the game a lot longer. And he can still probably reach back and get strikeouts when needed.
Strike to the outside corner. Tommy Bowe said it's the 3rd time he's had a game in which he struck out just 1 hitter this year. Speaking of Johan Santana. And he has not had a 10 strikeout game yet this season. And that was almost commonplace when we saw him in his American League days. Strike to Hafner. Back in 07, he had a game where he struck out 11 Indians, 12 Indians.
Yeah, I remember that.
8. Feliciano ready with a 1-2. Way outside, and a good stab made right there by Barajas. So if the Indians can get Hafner aboard, tying run comes to the plate here in the bottom of the 8th for the Tribe. Swung on and missed. Feliciano gets the strikeout, 1 down.
Well, if you're looking for a unique and fun location for a special occasion, why not book a suite right here at Progressive Field? They host groups from 10 to 60 and offer a great view of the game, along with premium food and beverage menus in a climate-controlled setting. 216-420-HITS for the details.
Austin Kearns looks at the ball outside. Kearns roller to third, right. Gets the out at second. And the relay is in time. A double play is turned, and we go to the ninth. 7-4 New York.
Series.
And it looks like Austin Kearns is safe.
Well, his foot's not on the base yet, but it's close enough. Everyone can't go against you. Look at Kearns. He's saying you're just terrible. Can't believe it. He wants to say something, but in between innings, Manny Acta came out and first time in I don't know how many calls. But you get sick of seeing it. Bang bang. On comes Rafael Perez. For the 25th time, Lewis went one inning, gave up a hit in his inning of relief. He's still shaking his head.
Angel Pagan, 0 for 4. One ball, no strikes. Two balls, no strikes. Pagan, David Wright, and Ike Davis for the Mets here in the ninth. They lead it 7-4. Broke his bat. Donald had to throw in a hurry and can't get him. Well, I have never seen this many infield hits in one game, I don't think. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, sometimes when they fall, they seem to fall. His bat shattered, and it went all the way to the screen, to the back.
Our player of the game is David Wright. drove in all 3 runs with infield singles. 6 infield hits by my count tonight for the Mets. That's a bunch.
Yes, it is. And you throw in there a few errors. 3 errors that have kept them going. They have 12 hits, so they have had their share of base runners.
Seven. Actually, I have 7.
Okay, they have, they have the 1 extra base hit. That's the home run in the 5th inning to cap off the 5-run inning. Other than that, all singles, 11 singles.
Throw down, and no.
I don't think he tagged him.
Valbuena looking in disbelief at Doug Innings. He thought he had him. Well, let's take another look. He missed him. He completely whiffed.
That's exactly right. Never tagged him. He made the swipe tag, and people expect that you tag the guy, but you have to tag him. You don't sit there and show an umpire up or look like you're in disbelief if you know you didn't tag him. Get the ball back.
Ripped foul. David Wright with those infield hits in the 1st and 5th inning. Driving in 3 runs. The 0-2. Rope foul again over there. That's up into the seats, and he's going on with a Suvi. The 0-2, and it's a little bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. New York started the night a game and a half in back of Atlanta in the National League's Eastern Division, and at last check, Atlanta was in a rain delay. I don't know if they've officially rained that game out.
I know it's still in the rain delay. They're playing Tampa at home.
Yeah, tough to rain it out though, unless you're going to.
Right, you got to make it up.
Play a doubleheader tomorrow. Turn, throw. Oh, a nice stop by Valbuena. Otherwise, that one could have been headed for the outfield. Cubs, I don't think they've started in their game against Oakland at U.S. Cellular Field, and the Reds are in a rain delay still at home against the Dodgers.
As a pitcher, Perez has to remember, when you don't have a chance, and he really didn't when he went to turn and throw, he went inside. You don't have to throw the ball. Just step off and hold it.
And again, David Wright keeps taking aim over there at the Indians dugout. One and 2 the count. With nobody out and a runner at second base here in the 9th inning for the New York Mets. Fouled back again. Well, how many pitches has this at bat been here? A 7-pitch at bat. Francisco Rodriguez warming for New York. For years, he was the back end of the bullpen guy for Mike Scioscia in Anaheim.
Perez brings the game to a halt when he gets in there. And Betancourt used to do that with here, you know, but I mean, it was his. When he comes out and does it, he's a lot like him, but he doesn't throw strikes like Betancourt did.
Oh, what a pick by Santana. 2-2 the count.
Take a look at it. It's on the backhanded side. It was a nice pick.
And the 2-2 is swung out and missed. He gets the strikeout. One down here in the ninth. Manny Acta's Impacta Kids Foundation will award two $2,500 college scholarships to one male and one female Cleveland area graduating high school senior. Pre-game ceremony will be held for the winners before the June 29th game against the Blue Jays. Deadline to enter June 21st. For information and an application, call 216-420-HITS. Ike Davis has had a good night at the plate. Ike Davis hit a 2-run homer that capped the Mets' 5-run fifth inning and put them ahead for good to this point. Fouled away. In fact, the Indians led this game by a score of 4-1 going into the fifth inning, and the Mets have scored 6 unanswered runs since then. And it's just been an odd game for the Mets offensively and for the Indians defensively.
Yeah, yes, the infield defense has been
not like the Mets have pounded the ball, although Davis, that was a no-doubter. He smoked that ball to center. 1-2 the count. But up until that point, they had hit only 3 balls out of the infield in the game. And that was the third. They had a fly ball out to end the fourth, which was the first, the leadoff single in the fifth, and then that home run. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Carlos Santana behind the dish, trying to get Rafael Perez through this ninth unscathed. Keep it a 3-run deficit. 3 on the right side for the Indians defensively. And weak ball hit to the shortstop, Jason Donald, who throws him out. 2 down. Pagan moves over to third base. And Jason Bay will be the batter. Looks like they've got a pinch hitter on deck. Is that Fernando Tatis?
Yes, it is.
So they've got a right-handed hitter on deck. So if they choose to pitch around Bay, then they'll have to pitch to Tatis. So that's probably what they're talking about. Who do you like to face better? Bay on the night 0 for 4. And while his batting average, very respectable 280, only 4 home runs so far this season.
Well, a little different ball yard he's hitting in compared to Fenway Park.
but certainly no stranger to the National League.
Right.
Played in Pittsburgh before going to Boston initially. The 0-1 in the dirt. World Series rematch tonight in New York, and the Yankees lead the Phillies 8-3. Twins on top of Colorado 5-2. Interleague play in Major League Baseball this year.
It's on its last leg now. All this week in the next 9 games after this Mets series, where the Indians will head into Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and Cincinnati. Yes, he did.
They went too far. 1-2 the count.
Oh, yeah.
Rafael Perez ready with a 1-2 pitch to Bay. Got him. We will go now to the bottom of the ninth. 7-4 New York. ERA of 1.89. Only 12 walks.
Well, back when this guy came up with the Angels, you remember he used to really get it up there in a hurry, but that velocity is not what it once was, but he's still got a terrific slider, gives you a lot of arm angle and arms and legs. Still knows how to close it out and is still a very, very good pitcher.
Yeah, even without the velocity, 41 strikeouts against just the 12 walks. That's getting it done. Russell Brandon will start it off for the Indians. High ball one. Rodriguez almost spun off the mound that time. 1-1 the count. I don't think that has anything to do with the problem Steven Strasburg had on Sunday. He's just one of those guys who's almost like a whirling dervish when he delivers the baseball.
That's exactly right. He comes up and he just falls off the first base side.
But possibly something to keep an eye on here in this 9th inning. And the 2-1. Clobbered into right field, a base hit for Brandon. And the Indians get their leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the 9th. They need one more base runner to bring the tying run to the plate.
Well, Russell got on top of a high fastball there and drilled it to right field. Take a look at it. There it is. You know, a lot of times he may swing under that pitch. He got top hand on that ball. Hit a line drive to right, so he gets the inning started off with a single.
Johnny Peralta singled back in the 2nd inning. He's also walked and scored 2 runs tonight. And looks at a first pitch strike. Rodriguez. Oh, there's that good off-speed pitch, and you can see Peralta just go fishing for it. 0-2 the count. Rodriguez trying to close this out for the Mets in the series opener. 2 more games to follow. Wednesday night and Thursday evening here at Progressive Field. We'll close out the homestand. The 0-2 to Peralta. Popped in the air. Almost falling down was Pagan, but he recovers in plenty of time to make the grab. 1 down. Looked like Pagan and he took 1 step back and his foot went right out from under him. One on, 1 out for Luis Valbuena, who is 1 out of 3 on the night. Louis does not like the call. It's strike 1, though. Outfield plays Valbuena almost like a right-handed dead pull hitter.
Shifting him over, and the middle infielder straight up here.
Did he go?
Yes.
He did, says third base umpire Dana DeMuth. And now Valbuena must feel like everybody's against him. He didn't like the first call. Probably didn't like that call.
Well, he went on this call. It's the breaking ball down. He really went. They immediately asked and got the call.
In a big hole now, 0-2. Oh, that ball went straight down. Just big time movement.
Well, they want it out of the zone. On an 0-2 count, you want that hitter to go after and chase it. And he knew he was going to bounce it right around the plate. He did not want to throw him a strike, but the fish weren't biting on that one.
His next pitch, bounced it in there again. And now Valbuena's back to even at 2-2. And because it's a 3-run game, Barajas can call for that breaking ball in the dirt and really not have to worry about Brandon taking off.
Right.
He's just worried about the hitter right now.
Give me the outs.
He did not go. And it's a full count. So Valbuena, give him credit. but all he's done now is given himself one more chance. He still has to try and deliver to get the tying run to the plate.
I mean, you got to throw a strike here, and you would think fastball.
Oh, and he rings him up. Fastball, strike 3 called. Valbuena may have thought it was high, but that's out number 2. And the Indians down to their final out.
Well, he didn't agree with a whole lot in this at-bat.
That's not a real good call there.
No, and he may have a legitimate beef. I mean, if he reaches base right there, I mean, there's the tying run coming to the plate, but he didn't like it, and you don't get the calls. Younger guys, we saw Santana against Santana on a 3-2 pitch earlier in the game that Carlos Santana took the call, but it was top of the strike zone. That one may have been up in the way a little.
We get a pinch hitter here. Shelley Duncan coming on to hit for Jason Donald with 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And a fastball strike. Duncan 2 for 6 as a pinch hitter with a couple of runs batted in. We'll have the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show immediately following the game right here on WKYC Channel 3. Rodriguez with the 0-1, and that's too low. One pitch. Duncan drives the ball deep to left. Bay looking up. Gone to Souvenir City. Shelley Duncan, a 2-out, 2-run homer. And it's a 1-run ball game at 7-6. And Robert Mason of Cary, Ohio, is our second winner of the night in our Shell gasoline giveaway. He's won $300 in free gas, courtesy of Shelley Duncan's second home run as an Indian.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Shelley Duncan doesn't mess around when he gets a chance to hit. He picked on a breaking ball right there. Hits his first pinch hit home run. He's now 3 for 7.
Yeah.
Give him 4 RBIs as a pinch hitter. I'll tell you what, he caught a hanging breaking ball and he hit it a long way. Second homer of the year, 9 ribbies.
The Indians still alive, down a run with 2 down, bottom of the 9th. Trevor Crow to the plate. He is 2 for 4 on the evening.
How close is that call now for strike 3?
Bang foul. Rick, I always remember Mike Hargrove saying that when he took over the Indians, obviously had some lean years there initially when he was at the helm as a manager, but he said, you know, he remembered as a player that when you play on second division teams or teams that aren't playing well, you don't get many close calls.
No, you earn your breaks, and you got to work for it, and that is true.
The 0-1. Line toward left center. Bay and Pagan converge, and Bay makes the grab to end the ball game. So the Indians score 2 in the bottom of the 9th, but fall a run short. 7-6, the final score tonight as the New York Mets win the series opener, and they're now 5-2 all time against the Cleveland Indians in interleague play. With the win, New York is now 36-28 on the year. Indians drop to 25-38 for the season. Winning pitcher tonight is Johan Santana. He is now 5-3 on the year. The save goes to Francisco Rodriguez, his 14th. Losing pitcher tonight for the Indians, Justin Masterson, who drops to 2-6. Time now for our play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank, banking home of your Cleveland Indians.
Let's go back to that 5th inning, and it was a capper. Boy, Ike Davis gets that ball, hits it to straightaway center field. It had some carry over the 400-foot sign. That capped off a 5-run 5th inning, and they never looked back after that point. So that is going to be our KeyBank key play of the game.
Well, the New York Mets take it by a